they're cyberbullying me to death.
Well, it looks like the Mersh Effect Civil War is kicking off appropriately with Steel Toe. In fact, it looks like Steel Toe is about to lose yet another co-host in a long line of a graveyard filled with co-hosts, which means I'm one step closer to my dream of becoming the permanent co-host of Steel Toe Morning Show. In fact, that's been my dream for as long as I can remember, which I believe is about 3 weeks ago. About 3 weeks ago, I said to myself, you know what? I'm just going to be a Steel Toe fan. I'm just going to be into Steel Toe. That's going to be my new thing where I'm like, I watch Steel Toe every single morning, every single evening. And I really did. And I had never watched it before. You know, I've only ever done one other episode about Steel Toe before. And everyone said, Jesse, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened. You need to become part of the Dabbleverse. Here's the thing about the Dabbleverse I've noticed is people who are in the Dabbleverse only talk about the Dabbleverse, which means you can't call yourself the Dabble. You're not dabbling. I dabble. All right. I sort of dabble in the Dabbleverse. I do one Steel Toe episode ever. But then a few weeks ago, I'm like, maybe these guys are wrong. Maybe everybody who says Aaron stinks is a liar or stupid or bad. And so I looked into it. And the thing is it's actually really, really good. Steel Toe is actually great. And I started watching every single morning, every single evening. And then it hit me. I need to be on this show. This is what I was built for this. And people out there must think I have nefarious purposes. Maybe there's some ulterior motive for wanting to get on Steel Toe. And there is. And the thing that I wanted to happen by getting on Steel Toe was exactly what is happening right now. You see, Mersh has sunk lower than he's ever sunk before. Or maybe exactly to where he's sunk before. I'm not exactly sure. Here's what happened, right? Anytime that I appear on the show of or as a friend of anyone in the Mersh Effect, Mersh has to do a shit test on that person. So I knew if I show up on Steel Toe one day, it might not be immediately, but one day Mersh would have a blowout and he would need to test the loyalty of his subject because he is the queen. So I go on Steel Toe. For 2 weeks, I just started saying, I'm going to co-host Steel Toe. And it somehow happened. What do you call a fan of Steel Toe? A foot fetishist? I'm a big fan of the toe, okay? So I just started tweeting at Aaron. I started going, at Aaron M. Holty, I'm going to co-host your show. And somehow he agreed. And I couldn't believe it either. You and me both, buddy. We were both sitting there going, huh? So apparently, if you just say a thing enough times, it just happens. It just becomes true. Now, I didn't know too much about the toe originally, okay? My experience with the toe was very, very limited because, again, I'm a dabbler. And let me take a look here. I showed up on Steel Toe show. I got to show you this. Let's start with this clip right here, actually. I'm going to go to 1510 in this, I think. I think this is the best way to do this. 1510. I'm just going to show you a little highlight. If you somehow missed my appearance on Steel Toe, let me just show you one little highlight of what happened. I discussed with Aaron a lot of ways that he could actually improve his show, that he should probably start doing these things if he wants to have a better show. I want to help. Whenever I see these shows that are flailing, that stink, that everyone hates, I always give the goons good advice, and they never, ever listen to it. Here I am talking to Aaron, which, by the way, I don't know why he turned me purple. He had our audio was terrible the entire time for some reason.
Talk about some shit.
The show, the name stinks, the logo stinks, and then everybody told me that you stink and your wife stunk, but she's not part of the show now. Now you had him before, but you got the crippled guy. What's his name?
Johnny.
Johnny. I like Johnny. And then you've got who's the nighttime? Johnny.
Matt's the night guy.
I call him nighttime Johnny. He is not good.
You don't like him?
No, he stinks. He needs to go. But it seems like a nice guy. I'm not like, I would, I'd love to have a beer. So even me, PodAwful, the guy that everybody thinks is the worst dude ever, even I wouldn't stoop so low as to make fun of the crippled guy on Steel Toe. Mersh had other designs after seeing me on this show. And again, I knew this would happen. This is what he always does. When I appeared on Alex Stein's show, suddenly he needed to get Alex Stein back on ROTC to make sure that they're good. Today, Mersh went on to Steel Toe's chat room and he sent in a super chat, absolutely devastating this poor young man, okay, this little boy. You got to see it to believe it. It's really insane what took place. Check this out.
We're leading in all the polls. I'd like to be campaigning. We'll be leading by a lot more.
Trump's defense moved for a mistrial based on Daniel's testimony.
By the way, this is what Steel Toe does. They talk about Trump. Now, if you look down here in the corner, you've got Aaron. You can see it's Spider, my best friend Aaron, and then you've got Wheelchair Johnny or whatever his name is.
Which Judge Mershon denied.
Who I said I like. When I was on the show, I said, this is a good guy. We're all big fans of Wheelchair Johnny.
Of course. Yeah. Because
he's a literal cripple. Does everybody understand this guy is literally a cripple? Okay. He does it. I know he's got a look about him, a powerful, beautiful look about him, where he kind of looks like, maybe if you were to look at him straight on, you couldn't actually see him. He sort of only exists in the periphery of your vision. He's sort of like a shadow person but nice guy.
If this is a completely fair and honest trial, why wouldn't?
He then held Donald Trump in contempt for asking for the mistrial and told Trump that he needs to fuck off for a minute and just let the court do its job.
They're saying in the chat room, yeah, he has MS. Okay. Microsoft? We don't need to know about what's going on. Listen, whatever's going on downstairs, obviously it affects his walking.
Says, let's talk about our fucked up economy and country. Never mind. Let's worry about a porn star. The bad luck.
Okay, watch this. The bad luck boys. Now remember, last episode, I managed to max headroom my way onto the Bad Luck Boys channel, Mersh's Toxoplasmosis Grandma stream. He is very upset over that. Okay. Now I remember, I don't know, I didn't see anybody post about this, so I'm not sure if it happened. I refuse to watch Nightwave normally, so I don't really know, but I saw screenshots where I think he covered my appearance on Nightwave, sort of. Like he played the episode that I was on, but not the parts where I was on the show. So you could tell it was eating away at him. This is what he did as a result.
Never mind. Let's worry about a porn star. The Bad Luck Boy. Wait, is that the Bad Luck Boys? Hold on a minute.
By the way, share that show. Let's get some folks in here. This is a free preview clip. We're going to go into the Pizza Fund in just a bit, do a new stream here. Let's check this out.
Is that my Mersh?
Is that my
Go
Mersh?
to channel.
It's like when my son says, my daddy. Hello, my daddy. Is that my Mersh? He's got to check to make sure. He can't believe Mersh is saying something so horrendous, so absolutely unfathomable about Wheelchair Johnny.
Is that? It certainly is.
Well,
wow.
Him.
Mersh with terse words for Johnny. How much does the co-host job pay? Because this dude sucks.
Well, how about you get fucked?
Mersh doesn't like you, dude.
Oh boy, Mersh doesn't like me.
By the way, okay, so what is Mersh's vector of attack? He's talking about who can I co-host? He's doing me. He is copying what I did. All right. I tried to become the co-host of Steel Toe. Now he wants to know how much does it pay?
What am I gonna do?
Don't make me get in between the two of you.
In between the two of us, I don't give a shit. I've been fucking putting in a lot of work and helping out and a lot of shit. How much does the Mersh of this job suck? Oh no, I'm fucking pissed.
Uh-oh.
Like, you want to just fucking come out at me? You want to come out at me for what?
Speak on it.
I'm not.
So this feels like a bit. At first, you're like, this is a bit. Okay, they're doing some classic O&A style adult baby wrestling lover kayfabe.
doing good enough for you? Well, too fucking bad. I'm kind of, I don't know, working 3 jobs, helping a friend out. How about you go fucking suck a dick, you piece of shit? Oh, I'm not entertaining the guy who's so fucking drunk he's still up at 5 in the morning? Whoopity-doo.
By the way, Mersh did miss ROTC today for this. You know, Steel Toe comes on at like 6 a.m. or something, right? So Mersh is not, you know, he's a night daddy. He's one of the Earth's gay vampires. And he was not meant to be awake for this long by any means. So he slept right on through the A show.
Did you send a rant against someone with whoopity-doo?
Yeah. Because like I said, I've been working a lot.
Now you hear the break. All of a sudden, there's a new flavor to the voice going on right now.
And I am getting sick of people like, oh, this guy's not doing a good enough job. Well, who fucking gives a shit? I'm doing the best I can for everything I've got to do. I've got to do his show 3 days a week. I got to do my show 5 days a week. And now I'm DJing 2 days a week to make fucking ends meet. So how about if you don't like it, you don't fucking watch it? Oh, this dude sucks. Fuck off.
Can I suggest a real job? But again, this is a guy on crutches, so I'm sure this is like under the table. I don't know what he's doing, but you don't have to do a show. I don't know if people know. There are some people out there like Comedy Shaman, Mr. Burgers. I feel like they think they have to do a show. Like they're shackled to the internet. A lot of Mersh effectors believe that they are forced to do shows. So this is sending a ripple, a tidal wave. Mersh has a bone to pick with the weakest member of the Steel Toe lineup. And by the way, we all know if Ape was still there, Mersh would attack her. He always goes after women or cripples.
I'm giving away old bits and subs shirts today if anyone wants to throw in $20.
Okay, so let's stop that there for a second. This gets way worse, and we're going to watch all of it. In fact, this is only halfway through the episode, and the entire rest of the episode is this, to the point that Wheelchair Johnny starts to cry. So we definitely need to take a look at that in the Pizza Fund. Join the Pizza Fund, PodAwful.pizza. We will be taking a look at that. Now, here's the thing, is when I appeared on Steel Toe, I knew that Mersh never reacts right away. He sits and he stews. He's just sitting in a puddle of his own dirt, of his own filth, stewing. He's dry hatching. He's wet stewing. And he eventually always allows it to get to him. At some point, Mersh is going to blow up. Now, the irony of all ironies here is, of course, Mersh is mad that I appeared on Steel Toe because Steel Toe is the Mersh Effect. He's one of his guys. He's one of the loyalty crew, right? Keep in mind, Mersh is the guy who thought that I sucked, I was a loser, because I started making fun of him when he brought Dick Masterson onto ROTC. So every single time he talks about me making fun of him, he brings up, oh, because we had Dick Masterson on the show. Well, guess what? I am now Mersh's Dick Masterson.
I know I'm fat. I know I'm a drunk. And I know I'm retarded.
That's right. So he can't do this little bit anymore.
I am high energy. I can't control myself.
He can't act like that doesn't make any sense anymore. You know, I didn't like him having Dick Masterson on his show and not asking him about getting me kicked off of Patreon. Suddenly, Mersh is in charge of who you get to have on your programs if you're part of the Mersh Effect. If you didn't see my entire appearance on there, it's on YouTube, by the way. Go check it out. It's on our channel. Everybody was saying this was a great thing. I mean, this is why Mersh is so mad. Nobody who saw it said it was bad. Okay, everybody was like, "This is great. Wow, Jesse was doing a very funny thing here. This is amazing." Wow, there's a lot of comments that said you're actually giving him very good advice, which I agree. I think I was giving him legitimate advice. It's an amazing episode. Everyone loved it, except for Patrick Melton, you know, the main Steel Toe guy. It was very odd. Patrick Melton had some some terse words to say about. I thought it was strange. Watch this. Here's
moderately attractive.
Melton watching me.
Can I tell you something?
Too good for you. Too good for you.
Fair
like
enough.
A classic King of Queens style, Family Guy style relationship where.
So yeah, I'm talking to Aaron about his wife, that she's too hot for him.
Queens style, Family Guy style relationship where.
Yeah, it's just too look, I'm sure it's great and stuff. It just goes nowhere. There's not really a payoff.
There's no payoff? Oh, really?
And like for everyone was on the edge of their seat because he told everybody like, here we go, baby. And it's like, and then he got mad.
I didn't tell anybody, here we go, baby. Again, I went into the steel toe thing blind. I don't know anything about steel toe. Here's what actually happened. I gave Patrick the StreamYards link so he could join. And he replied to that by saying, I'm busy. You're busy? Steel toe is your meal ticket. You're busy. You are his biggest enemy. I thought the funniest thing I could do was bridge the gap and get Melton. I don't think I'm the steel toe guy. I thought Melton would die for the opportunity to go on there. Turns out he was busy. Okay, I mean, listen. If somebody came up to me and said, hey, Jesse, I've got a secret link that's going to get you on Nightwave with Mersh, my steel toe, I could be in the middle of my child's bris. And I would have to say to the rabbi, please, sir, if you could just take that out of your mouth for a second. I get just one moment. I know this is an important ceremony. I'll be right back. I have way more important business to take. I could never be too busy. My wife is pregnant. She could be pooping out onto the table. I could be holding her leg up for 3 hours. And if I got that call, I'd be like, I will be right back. I'm so sorry. I have to go on Nightwave right now. You're too busy, Patrick? You sure? And by the way, I then looked into the busy. What was he doing during this time? He was on a stream talking to a potato and a trans person. That's not even a joke. I don't know enough about the Dabbleverse, but apparently it involves a potato. He talked to a potato and I'm not describing a human being as looking like a potato, which, by the way, you could describe pretty much anybody in the Dabbleverse that way. This was an actual potato and a trans person. And then also like the 50th guy pretending to be Anthony Cumia in the Dabbleverse. He was too busy doing that, apparently. Maybe he was scarfing down a McRib. I don't know. It's interesting. His whole thing here is that there was no payoff, that this didn't go anywhere. His whole audience in the chat room is saying, this is actually very good. What do you mean, Patrick? We liked this. And then I noticed an interesting thing here. When you go to his live page here, you see all these nice thumbnails. He makes thumbnails for everyone. Oh, Mersh? Really? You're talking about Mersh? Okay. I go to, there you go, steel toe thumbnail. This guy, I don't know who, some sort of potato thumbnail. And then you go to the live stream with me in it, the one that had no payoff and was no good. And there's no thumbnail. It's just an image of me on steel toe. I guess that was good enough for this episode. Weirdly, this is a 3 hour and 40 minute long podcast where he talks about my appearance for about, I want to say 4.5 minutes. And I'm the featured event on this thing with no payoff. I don't know, just kind of a strange thing. I know, also, by the way, you talking about Mersh. Listen, I want to be clear here. I think Patrick Melton, I think Nobody Likes Onions is a funny show. I have for a long time. I've known about Nobody Likes Onions for years and years and years. I think Patrick's really funny. But you making fun of Mersh don't make no sense. You guys are like, what is the difference? I think it's only about 100 pounds. If Mersh was a Pokemon, he would evolve into Patrick Melton at level 35 while holding the Moonstone, I'm pretty sure, at this point. I mean, they're both big, fat, cross-eyed guys from Tampa. Anyway, the point is, Melton seemed to think that there was no payoff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the payoff. It's paying off. It's happening. As a matter Matter of fact, I believe Melton did, 4 hours on my payoff today live. So if you've already seen all this coverage over on his stream, you're welcome. There's the payoff. And here's the proof. Here's Mersh on Twitter today. LOL, so I got banned from Aaron Imholt's chat after super chatting this. Dude platform's a sociopath who has harassed me and my entire family for years. I made fun of his co-host one time and he started sobbing. Quit the internet, pussy.
I have autism. I can't help it.
All other bone fragments in the future, please, to me. I just need 8.
But wait, there is, of course, more. Because whenever Mersh acts like a tough guy on the internet, he somehow also has the complete energy of your grandmother on Facebook, where she's like, hello, David, just letting you know I'm your grandmother still. Please remember to call me once, ever. And then she signs off. Betty. It's me, Betty. So Mersh had more to say.
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding.
He says, PodAwful's fans emailed pictures of the headline from the crash that killed her son. We're going to have to go back over. This makes no sense. Mersh is so in his feelings that the typing here is nonsense. But apparently he's basically saying that I'm the entire reason that this steel toe thing happened. Here's your payoff. He had people Photoshop my dead mother onto porno and sent that to my family as well. None of this happened, by the way. I said his co-host wasn't funny and he cried. Whose co-host? My co-host, Mersh? He truly types like a woman. This is insane. Dude, you're all a feature on Nightwave tonight. I hope so. We need somebody keep an eye out on Nightwave and let me know when it goes live, because we're going to want to cover that live, okay? We're going to want to see that. But there you go. All right, so confirmation. PodAwful does it again, because every episode of PodAwful is a setup to a joke, and the punchline is what happens after. You're now in the after. Check out the Pizza Fund, PodAwful.pizza, for full episodes. This is just a preview.
I'm living proof that the AIDS virus doesn't exist, okay?
Okay, welcome everybody. PodAwful, Pizza Fun, PodAwful.pizza, full episodes and an archive of content if you want to check it out over there. We will see you over there in just a bit. What are people saying in the live chat here while we're still on YouTube? Dead mother cum tribute. Let's go. Well done, sir. See you in the Pizza Fund, guys. A-Log, the Keno Casino for the big bucks. It's overdue. You know, we do need to check out the Keno Casino at some point, actually. These guys, the Keno Casino is a big fan of PodAwful. I don't know if you've noticed. Keno Casino, real big fan. Everybody now has the chirp on their soundboard. We're going to replace the chirp. The chirp is mine. I invented it. It's 100%. That's a PodAwful original, but now it's gay and passe. We need a new chirp. Actually, if somebody could provide us with like a more powerful, I want the foghorn klaxon version of the chirp. Like the most powerful chirp you've ever heard. Because we've got the Goon Alarm 6 million, which, by the way, is set up. You will be seeing more of the moon base here soon. We got a lot of cool surprises for you. But, we'll save that for the Pizza Fund, though. So we need a new chirp. We do need a new chirp. That's true. Let's go over quickly, before we get too deep into all of this, let's go over a couple more of my favorite moments from and just in case there are people out there who, they didn't see my appearance on Steel Toe. I'd like to show you a few of my faves, okay? Just a couple quick clips here that I think you're going to love. And that's how we got to where we're about to go. By the way, this is an interesting thing. Speaking of the Mersh Effect, okay, the civil war of the Mersh Effect, I was covered by a Mersh Effect podcast I'd never heard of before. They did 3 hours about me. I was originally going to do that for this episode, but then this came up. This obviously takes precedence. So we will be covering that in another Pizza Fund only episode coming up soon. So look out for that. I mean, it's going to be real soon. We might even do it tomorrow. I'm not sure. Check this out, though. This is me on Steel Toe. This is called April Fools. Can we...
You prima donna, can we fucking talk to each other?
This is a mitzvah. I think we should celebrate me being on here. This is exciting. I've been meant to be the co-host for some time now. And let's do a big Can we do a big celebration together, Aaron?
Jesse, I would love nothing.
Okay, let's celebrate No More April. No more April.
Enough of that broad holding this program back. No, in all seriousness, Jesse, I saw your appearance on Chow and Musk, whatever the fuck they call themselves.
What did you say about a broad?
What?
You said enough of that broad? I got to be clear about something
I did
here.
not say that.
The bad audio is entirely Aaron's fault. When he switches to the set, he has the most retarded way of using StreamYards I've ever seen. When you use StreamYards, you can just take StreamYards and send it to YouTube. But what he does instead, he has no idea how anything works, okay? In this stream, I tell him all the stuff that I can help him redecorate his studio. And by the way, then he started doing it. He is actually doing some of the stuff I told him to do. I told him he needs to redo his entire money setup. No more begging, use a paywall, redo the studio, redo the co-host situation. Here's my new thing. I want him to redo his studio. I have a concept for the Steel Toe studio. One, the Steel Toe name, the branding is so bad. It stinks. And I told him this. It's really, really, the name is awful. Everything about his show is really bad. The background is really bad. So he has started changing things. Here's my concept for his show, okay? I think he should host the show from inside of a grave. I think here's what I think should happen. In the backyard, he has Ape dig up a hole, all right? And then they set up the whole backyard to look like a Halloween-style graveyard. And on every gravestone is the name of one of the co-hosts that's left the show. And then he climbs inside the grave and hosts the show like it's perfectly normal. And there's no more co-hosts. It's just him. He's alone in a grave. And then from off camera, you can hear and you see dirt fly in from, and it's Ape. And she's just flinging dirt on him. And he just keeps going, so Trump and the trans people and black people. And then he just does the show like that. And then the show ends rather than when they hit a goal. The show ends when he's completely covered in dirt and earthworms and beetles. And they're crawling in and out of his ears and eyes and mouth, you know, like some sort of Svengoolie, like a board game from the 90s, like a Monster Mash, Goosebump style, Don't Wake Daddy, Pirate Chest sort of. You get what I'm saying. He's got to be covered in earthworms. Really the new thing. Listen, I don't care if he still calls the show Steel Toe. I guess that's what people know it by now. I'm a toe head. You know, I'm big into his co-host, Matt. I told him that I don't like Matt, but that was a lie. I do like Matt. We are now pro Matt. Okay, now that Mersh has kicked off exactly my plans, we're pro Matt, anti Johnny. I don't choose that. I would never go after the cripple guy like Mersh. It's not about him being crippled. It's not even about him being a bad co-host. It's just that if Johnny's kicked up, Johnny's like his main guy. So if Johnny's no longer on the show, well, number one, I don't think he can make his way down into a grave. Obviously, we need to get the grave going here. I don't want to hurt him. So if we get rid of him, I'm one step closer to being the new co-host of Steel Toe. Anyway, Earthworms, we're covering him in Earthworms. We're pro Matt. Matt's the nighttime guy. We want Matt to stick around. We're Matt adores. Okay? The fans of Matt from Steel Toe, they're called Matadors. We adore Matt because he is a doormat. You can walk all over him. He'd never cry. Mersh could make fun of Matt all day long, and he would never break down into tears over it. PodAwful.pizza. We're going over there in a second. Anyway, I just need him to be covered in dirt, all right? A graveyard set. He's changing things around. He's trying to. I think the point of me pausing this was that the audio is bad on his end, so please forgive that, okay? Let's roll that back. This beautiful bean footage. What did you say about a broad? What did you say about a broad? What? I said. You said enough of that broad? What did you say? Remember, no more April.
I did not say that.
I swear I heard you say, when I was saying no more April, you said...
Dude, I think you're gaslighting me saying I'm gaslighting you.
I swear to God, Chad, am I crazy or did he fucking say he's drunk so he doesn't remember?
That's a good point.
He said that, right? Or am I getting some other audio piped in right now?
I don't think I said broad.
Okay.
Oh, Colin Madden says I did. Okay. All right.
He said it.
Fine. I said enough of that broad. Maybe I did. Fair enough.
What broad are you talking about?
April. So let's talk about you on Dr.
No, I was talking about the month of April. Today's May 1st. You're saying enough of your own wife? Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, hasn't the show really been?
Fuck. She left the show because of the way you...
Oh, yeah. We should have never worked together. It was a terrible
And now
idea.
you're talking shit about her now? Like, she's gone. I literally meant the month of April. Like, I like to ring in a new month, you know?
Yeah, but you understand that the fact that you've just done this April bit means I have to lean in on the other one. Otherwise, I've lost. I can't do this. I have to destroy my own relationship. I'll let you.
Because I've been watching you for a little, seriously, like a very small amount of time now. I really had not seen much show before. And I had heard all of these terrible, terrible things about how your show sucks and you're gay and your wife stinks.
Yeah.
And what else do they say about you guys? So imagine me, the permanent co-host, and Aaron in a grave. You can see where it would be a very watchable show. You would enjoy it with the dirt piling up on his head.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
Support the show. Join the Pizza Fund. PodAwful.pizza.
Pizza.
PodAwful.pizza.